with another runner specific Pilates workout. As usual, all you need is your mat, yourself, and if you've got any injuries or niggles or anything that doesn't feel right, please adapt the session as necessary. Definitely don't push through pain. But now we've covered that, we are gonna jump straight in. So we're gonna start with our feet hip width apart, and we're just gonna start with some roll downs. Now, depending what time of day you're doing this, they can feel quite uncomfortable. That thoracic spine can feel quite tight as soon as you wake up in the morning. So I really want you to let go of all the tension in the neck. So we're gonna start by taking a big inhale through the nose, expand those rib cages, nice soft knees, and then I want you to lead with the head. So dropping that chin to the chest, and we're gonna roll down our spine, one vertebrae at a time until we are completely relaxed at the bottom. Shake that head left to right if you need to. Get rid of all the tension. And then slowly roll back up, one vertebrae at a time. Again, keeping those stomach muscles engaged. Roll the shoulders back and we go again. Dropping that chin to the chest. Rolling. Completely relax at the bottom. You can soften the knees even more, have a bit of a bend there. Then take that right arm up towards the ceiling, rotate towards the side, exhale, and then inhale, drop to the center. Exhale, over to the other side, really stretch out the spine. Inhale, drop. Then I want you to come up halfway, so we're in a nice hamstring stretch, so I'll just demonstrate on the side. Nice flat back, don't worry if the knees are still slightly bent, and then drop back down. We're going to get back into that hamstring stretch, feel free to stretch the arms out, and then relax back. Good, ignore the clicking ankles. And our last one. And drop all the way down, rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Take the legs ever so slightly further apart, and we're going to go into some body weight squats. Again, the arms again above the head, sit the weight into the heels, and then squeeze at the top. Good, shoulders nice and relaxed. I'm sorry, we're very clicky today. Keeping the stomach muscles engaged, making sure we're thinking about our breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to come right down into a nice low squat. So we're going to basically send our bum down, try to keep our back as flat as we can, and I just want you to rock from side to side, push the knees out with the elbows. If we need to sit up a bit higher, that's absolutely fine. We just want to warm up those ankles and those hips. Before we begin, just rock, and then coming up again, one vertebrae at a time. Bring the feet back hip width apart. We're going to step it back into a lunge, and the arms again above the head. So going the right foot and then straight over without falling over to the left foot. Good, squeeze the glutes at the top. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. We're going to drop and hold on this one, and we need to rotate over to one side. Deep breaths. And back to the centre, and we pulse. Keep the shoulders down, drive that knee back to the mat. Last 3, 2, 1, and come up, over to the other side. Step it back, get our balance. Rotate over that right knee. Pause. Back up to the centre, and we pulse. That's 3, 2, 1, and step it back up. Good work. We are actually going to come straight down onto the mat with our legs out in front of us, and we're going to do some roll downs. So sitting up really nice and tall, nice flat back, we're rolling down one vertebrae at a time until our head is laid down on the mat, and then we're coming back up, head leading first. Now, if that is too much for you and you lose control, I want you to go to where you can control it. If that's here and then back up, that is absolutely fine. Again, just work within your range. So starting off, lifting up out of those hips nice and tall. We are rolling down, scoop the stomach muscles to the spine, one vertebra at a time, till our head is the last thing to touch the mat and the first thing to come back up. So we peel, exhale as we come up. If you want to take a slight forward bend, get those hamstrings warmed up, and then we go again, rolling down the spine, one vertebra at a time, and peeling with the head, squeeze, lifting up, slight stretch. You can see how tight my hamstrings are, and again, we've got 4 of these in total, nice and controlled. Exhale as we come up, squeeze, 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 lifting up, slight forward bend or big forward bend depending on how flexible you're feeling. We're going to come up for our last one. I said we had 4 in total, but it's technically 5 by the time we've gone back down. And stretch. And then our last one, take it even slower, really peel down the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to touch the mat. And then just bring those knees in to the chest and just gently rock from side to side. And then we're going to take those legs into tabletop and hands are by our sides. Right, we're going to bring the knees closer together and we're just going to take the knees over to one side. So we're really working those obliques, twisting that hip, that left hip will come just off the mat, back into the centre, making sure that back hits that mat again. We're really engaging the core, not too far that you can't control it. Good. Inhale, back into the centre. Exhale. Taking the knees over to one side. We've got our arms by our side for some support. Inhale and exhale. And in. Good. Few more here. Really working those obliques, getting them warmed up. Last one. And then back to the centre. Taking the knees a little bit further apart, hands hovering off the mat, lifting the head and shoulders, and we pulse. So we are in our 100. Inhale and exhale. As always, you've got the option to straighten the legs for this one. Just make sure that back does not lift off the mat. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. We've got 5 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hug those knees to the chest and just rock from side to side. Taking hold of that right knee, we're going to extend the left knee, lift the head, neck and shoulders, and then we're going to switch. And lengthen that leg away, making sure that back is flat on the mat. Good. Keep squeezing, make it nice and slow and controlled. And now we're going to switch into straight legs, or as straight as they can be when you've got tight hamstrings. Really lengthen. Again, making sure that back is flat on the mat and we're scooping our stomach muscles towards the spine. Exhale and switch. And if you want to make it even more challenging, we can take the hands off, palms up towards the ceiling, and we switch. Keep breathing. Deep breaths. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Hug the knees to the chest and just rock from side to side. And then pop the feet down on the floor, knees again up to the ceiling. And we're going to take the hands behind the head, lifting the head, neck and shoulders as we lift one leg. So we lift up and back down, making sure those elbows stay right out to the side. Good. Take it nice and slow, nice and controlled, making sure we're really engaging the core muscles. Exhale as we lift, inhale to come down. And exhale. We're going to add a rotation, so we come up and down, driving that right elbow to the left knee, not the knee to the elbow. Good. Stay with me, not long left. We've got one more each side. Last one. And then before we relax, taking those legs back into that tabletop position, hands by the side, lift the head, neck and shoulders, and we pulse, squeezing that spine into the mat, deep breaths. And exhale. Core is burning. Deep breaths. We've got 8 seconds left here. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Hug the knees to the chest, rock from side to side, or lengthen the arms and legs. Again, the clicking knees, sorry about that. Stretch out those abdominal muscles, abdominal muscles, and then bring the feet in towards the bum. Knees are up to the ceiling, and we're going to go into some glute bridges. So we're going to take the arms up with our bum. So we're peeling up one vertebra at a time. Hands are going above the head and taking them down to the ears as we come down. So we really have to think about still peeling up the spine, one vertebra at a time, hips nice and high, squeeze those glutes, and then rolling back down, one vertebra at a time. Really relax those shoulders at the top and squeeze as we come up. Take those arms back by the ears. Nice shoulder mobility there. Really feel like you peel through each vertebrae, one at a time. Good, we're going to hold it at the top of this one. Now you can either choose to stay here, or if you feel like you can, we're going to shift that weight into the left leg. We don't have the stability of our arms here, but if you need them for a bit more support, you can also bring them down to the mat. But if not, we're just going to take the right leg off. So we're really working this left leg supporting, especially without the help of our arms. Control back down. Try not to let those hips move too much. And then over to the other side. And then control back down. Good work. Take those arms down now. And now we're going to go into our half pulses. That really tested our single leg strength. Don't worry if that felt like too much. We're going to squeeze and lift. Breathe. Last 3, 2, 1, and then slowly roll it down, one vertebra at a time. Hug those knees to the chest, and then just rock from side to side. Now from here, we are going to practice some rolling like a ball. So I want you to grab the backs of your knees, and we're just going to gently start to shift our weight forwards and backwards so we get a bit of momentum. So we're really engaging those core muscles. We're going to lift if we can. You've obviously got the floor there if you need it. And roll back down. So really work into that spine, one vertebra at a time. Use those core muscles to balance at the top. This is also quite a nice spine massage. Good, we've got 2 more here. If you're new to this, this might feel a bit strange. Last one, we're going to try hold it at the top, back nice and flat. If that feels really comfortable for you, you can experiment with stretching one leg and then the other, and even double if you feel up to it without falling back, or we can just hold it here. We've got another 8 seconds here, whichever variation you're taking. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Good work. That was a tough one to throw in there, so hopefully you've all survived. And we're switching around onto our knees, and we're going to come straight down onto our forearms for this. So down onto our forearms, and we're going to extend the left leg back to start. So stretch it behind, we're going to kick it up, and then place it back down. Again, we still want to make sure that knee is underneath the hip. So we take that leg up, hip facing the mat still, and lower back down. Good, core nice and tight, working into that glute, nice and controlled. Breathe, really squeeze that leg, that glute at the top of the lift. That's how I'm going to hold it up. I want you to draw it in, slight round with the spine, and then kick back. But again, nice and controlled. We don't want to arch that spine as the leg extends. Might have a slight rounding here as we tuck our stomach muscles in, but not too much movement. Breathe. Good, we've got 2 more here. And then we're going to hold it at the top. And from here, I just want you to draw a really tiny circle, or whatever shape you fancy, at the top. Keep the core really engaged. That's 3, 2, 1, and return it back in. Take the knees as wide as the mat, and then send the bum back to the heels. Walk those hands forward. Take a big inhale and exhale. Really feel into that stretch. If you want to rock from side to side, get into it a bit deeper. And then coming back up onto all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under and just lift the knees off the mat, pressing the floor away in a nice bent leg plank here. Deep breaths. We are holding for 10 seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, and relax those feet back down, and we are coming onto our forearms to work the other side. So that right leg extends behind, again hip facing the mat, and then we kick it up and down. When I say kick, I mean very controlled lift, but you know what I mean. Good, extend, keep squeezing that glute, lengthen the leg, core engaged, keep breathing. Good work. Last one. Slight hold at the top, and then bring that knee in and extend. Good. And in. Exhale as we stretch. Good. We've got 3 more here. Keeping that core nice and tight. And then at the top, we're just going to draw a circle with the foot, nice and controlled. Breathe. Good, last 3, 2, 1, and return that leg back in. Again, tip the knees nice and wide, and then just walk those hands forward. Take a big inhale and exhale, and then we walk the hands over to one side, so we stretch that left side, and then back through the centre, over to the other side. Nice stretch there. And then back through the centre, walk the hands in, and coming back up onto all fours. So just check your position here. We want to make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips, and we've got a nice flat back here, and we're going to go into some Supermans. So we're extending opposite arms and legs, trying to keep those hip bones facing the mat, and we're trying to keep the back really nice and flat. So we lengthen, extend, and control back in. We don't want too much hip movement as we switch sides. And control. Good. And back in. On this next one, you've got the choice to either stay with what we're doing, or if we want to make it a bit harder when we get to this position, and we need to just take the arm and leg to the side and back in, and control it back in. So we're really testing those obliques. And the other side. Don't take it too far. Also just testing our coordination and balance here. We've really got to squeeze everything nice and tight. Take it out. And last one this side. And control back in. Good work. Straight away we're going to take that left leg back behind us. We're going to draw it into the chest, round that spine, and then extend it. Nice flat back. Good. So we lift and extend, keeping that hip nice and flat, facing towards the mat. Hug that knee, drive it up towards the chest. Really feel like you're squeezing the abdominals. Lifting up. We've got one more here. And then take that right arm off, and we're just going to hold it here. Deep breaths. Last 3, 2, and control it back in. Good work. That was nice and challenging. Drop the head round that spine. Inhale, and then exhale. Chest comes up. 2 more of these. And then nice flat back. And we are going over with the right leg. So extend that right leg back, lifting up. Again, make sure that hip bone is facing the mat. We drive it in. And extend. And in. Good. Core nice and tight. Lift. We've got 3 more here. Try to keep that neck in line with the spine as we extend the leg. Last one. And then take that right arm off. Deep breaths, core tight. Last 3, 2, and control it back in. Again, take the knees as wide as the mat. Take that head down into child's pose and just walk the hands forward. Inhale and exhale. And then coming up onto all fours. We're just going to take the knees a bit further back so we're a bit more extended, and we're going to work on some tricep press-ups. So I want you to keep, we're only doing 4, so keep that core nice and tight. If you can do 4 press-ups, then we'll go with that, but keep the elbows tucked into the waist, the core nice and tight. We're thinking about control, remember this is Pilates, so bring the elbows into the body, lowering ourselves nice and control, and then press up, pressing the mat away. Good, well, we've got 3 more. Remembering to breathe. Last 2. And last 1. Good work. And then bring those knees back in a bit closer. We're going to step it back into a full plank and then walk it back into our half plank. So really engage the core. We're pressing the floor away. We've got a nice flat back. We're going to step 1 foot, then the other, core nice and tight. Trying not to move the hips around. Bring it back in, stepping it back out, stepping it back in, and then drop the knees to the floor. Send the bum back to the heels. Walk them forward if you need to. Take a quick breath there, and then back up. We're just going to repeat that 1 more time. So we step 1 foot back, then the other, core tight, bring it in. Keep those hips from moving around. Back out, really press the floor away. Back in, and then gently drop the knees. Send the bum back to the heels as well. Take the hips a bit further, and just walk those hands forward. Take a really nice deep breath there. And then walk the hands back in. Coming up onto our knees, and we're going to bring 1 foot up. You'll be glad to know we are stretching now. This is my favourite stretch. You can tell I put it in quite a few of these workouts. Nice hip flexor stretch. Squeeze that glute, tuck that pelvis under, and just press into it. I mean, all of us runners probably have tight hips, I assume, so I imagine a lot of you will like this stretch as well. As always with these, we don't leave much time for stretching because they're just half an hour, short and sweet, so please feel free to do much longer if you need a bit more. Now we're going to take both hands down into the inside of our foot. I want you to step that left leg straight behind you, and then take that right arm up towards the ceiling, nice rotation, and then back through, drop that knee. Coming back up, we're going to switch sides. Left leg up, again, tuck that tailbone under, squeeze that glute, press into it a bit more if you need to. Take a big inhale and exhale. Shift more into that stretch as you need. And then take the hands inside of that foot, step back, and rotate over towards that left side. Big exhale. Take that foot back to the outside, and then we're going to step it back into our downward dog position. Take a few foot pedals here. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. Drop the head. And then slowly rolling up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring us to standing, roll the shoulders back, give yourself a shake, and well done for joining me on that one. I feel like that was particularly tough, so good work, and I will see you on the next one.